Oh, my goodness. And there it is. Wow, gets it good to go.
Well, I think that was an embarrassing start to competition there for us, Michael.
Everything working now?
Everyone should be able to hear us now. I think we might have been muted for that whole introduction.
Well, no problem. Hey, that's what we're doing. We're doing a few extra things here. But we're good now, right?
Hopefully. Let us know in the chat. If you guys haven't heard us, you missed just absolute gold, though. I mean, just phenomenal stuff to kick things off. Everyone should be able to hear us now. I've been muted.
No problem. Hey, that's we're doing. We're good now.
Hopefully, let us know in the chat. If you guys haven't heard us, it's just absolute gold, though. I mean, just phenomenal stuff. All right, with that, welcome everybody to the 2021 USBC Queens from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. My name is Aaron Smith alongside Mike Flanagan. And now that we have sound, we can tell you more about this great event, the first major of the 2021 PWBA Tour season. 55 competitors on the lanes for a 5-game block here today to kick things off. And B Squad will be up later today, 3 p.m. local time here in Reno, 6 p.m. Eastern for their first 5-game block, 15 games over 3 days. We'll determine our top 63 players to join a defending champion, Dasha Kovalova, who won her very first PWBA Tour title at the Queens in 2019 in Wichita, Kansas. North Rock Lanes, the host of that. 42 feet of the condition. For those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, we appreciate you joining us here. We're going to be here for game 1 for you. But then you have to head over to bowltv.com for wire-to-wire coverage. That's right. We have wire-to-wire coverage, including the stepladder finals this week of the USBC Queens, all available. Right here on bowltv.com.
Yeah, Aaron Smith, this morning, just getting things started here on A Squad. As I think about, this event over the course of the next 3 days, we're going to bowl 5 games qualifying here today. A Squad right now. We'll have B Squad for you a little bit later this afternoon. Whole new set of players, 55 players, I believe, on each squad. 110 total, largest field that we've seen this year. So if there's 110 players and 64 make it into the bracket, our cut number, it's over 50% of the field if you do the math there. So it's not important that you lead here. It's important that you bowl well enough to make it into the top 64 on this 42 feet in length foil pattern, 2-to-1 ratio. And to be able to kind of know what happens when you break down a pair in practice. Because when you get into the match play format, double elimination if you're in the Queens, you'll be bowling 3-game total pin matches against your competitors. And it's really, the practice for each one of those matchups is really important, the way they break them down as a pair. And you'll see some more on the men's side than you do on the women's side, the Masters per se. People will throw certain bowling balls in certain areas to try to mess up their opponents. And then some people just come in and bowl their game and try to break them down to create the highest scoring probability for themselves. So really the goal here is, on day number 1, is to not bowl yourself out of the tournament. Get a feel for the lane pattern. And then just kind of see where the dust settles at the end of the day after the 2 squads. Tomorrow we'll be back with 5 more games. Of course, we'll be back on Saturday with 5 more. And then we'll make that cut to the top 64. And you talked about this yesterday when we were live in the practice session for everybody. Because we're doing everything here on Bowl TV, and this is truly where bowling lives, but in case you didn't know that, we are going to be having the stepladder finals here on Tuesday night. And because we don't have any time constraints here because of television, for the first time that I can remember, the top seed on our TV final will have to be defeated twice which I think is a pretty interesting thing, which means when the two winners in the winners bracket meet in that final match to determine who's going to be the number one seed, I believe it has more importance this year than ever in the history of this event.
100%. A lot of times when you get to that 1-2 match, there's just a sense of relief from the players. You had to win a couple matches against very tough opponents. There's no easy outs in this 64-player field when you get down to it. So when you make the comparisons to brackets and NCAA basketball, and 16 seed has only beat one seed one time in the history of the event. The 64 seed is a threat to win this event just as much as the 1 seed is. So just to get through those first couple of matches and just get to the show for a lot of people is just kind of that. Okay, I did what I needed to do. I'm on the show, and there's just a little bit of a sense of relief, and you kind of see just if those matches are close, the intensity is there, but sometimes it seems like just so many times one person just gets ahead early and the match is kind of settled. That person's the top seed. The one went away, but as you said, with the TV restrictions, if you will, they don't have the opportunity to, it's a double elimination format for the rest of the event. So you can technically lose once and lose the tournament. This year with that, you have the double elimination in your back pocket. That top seed becomes so important. Not only is it, for whatever reason, if you have a bad game, if you're just not seeing the look, but, so many people talk about getting the game underneath, if you start the slider, you kind of just see how the pattern develops and make the moves. The top seed has that advantage as well. So even if it goes bad in game one, they can see what's happening with the lane, make those adjustments if they need to go to game two. And from there, they're in business.
Yeah, looking at the scores here, that lane pattern being 42 feet in length, 16.75 milliliters on the way down, 8.95 on the way back for a total volume of 25.7. They're using fire, oil in both tanks, and they're using tank A on the down, tank B on the way back. But that 2-to-1 ratio, because of the fire and because of the way that the taper is put down on the lane, there is friction down lane. You're going to see balls change direction. We're already seeing it here this morning. Quite a few strikes here from our opening pair, lane 65 and 66 here at the National Bowling Stadium.
And we took a look at this pair during practice for a little bit, mentioning that we were probably going to see two of the players attack the lanes one way and two of the players attack them a little bit differently. For Laura and Giselle, a little bit higher rev rates, probably going to be creating a little bit more shape out there. Carolyn and Lily probably going a little bit straighter. Just due to the rev rates and kind of where they like to play on the lanes. And as we discussed with Nick Hoagland when he was joining in the Bowl TV chat, is you had a few different options to play. A few different areas to start off in the fresh, and that's the event is primarily fresh throughout the course of the event. So that's where you want to be strong at. If you're getting your pins at the end of the block, that's great for the qualifying session, but you want to be able to have a look and find a way to post 220s, 230s right out of the gates is kind of what's looking like this week. And folks, we do have live scoring available. As Mike mentioned, here on bowltv.com, we do have 8 channels available to view, but at the 78 lane NBS, quite a few pairs in play throughout the course of the house. So you can follow live scoring as well, available all week by visiting bowl.com/Queens or pwba.com. You can click on the results slider right up front there.
Take a look at Giselle Poth here. She's crossing around the 11th board, out to about the 7th board for a strike, which is where I feel a majority of our athletes are going to be attacking this pattern, the ones that are going to have success anyway. During the practice session yesterday, I had a chance to go around and watch just about everybody bowl. I captured some video of that. We actually put it out on social media here just a little while ago. If you want to see the different styles from B squad practice yesterday, attack this 42 in length pattern. Check that out. But I truly believe the second, honestly, is going to be everybody's friend. The ones that are having the most success are going to be just a little right or a little left of it, getting the ball out to around 6, 7, or 8, depending. So that was a little bit deeper, around 12. A little higher ball speed. Really nice shot there by Laura. Just outside of 10 there, around 8th or 9th board. 10 back. Still very speed sensitive, and also very important to have the correct bowling ball in your hand, matching up. Got the ball reps here, of course, from great companies out here on tour. Really appreciate the manufacturers stepping up and continuing to support the ladies by sending out representatives to help the ladies. Carolyn there, she's up around 8, 7, or 8. The straighter game of the pair, I would say, for sure. Giselle opening up the lane a little bit. One looked a little quick off her hand, but still gets a strike. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking to see the misses and what happens when you miss. And we saw one there by Giselle, in my opinion. She missed that one a little bit and still got a strike. So when we get just being round one, game one, squad one, once the athletes have had 3 or 4 days to get used to this pattern and get everything dialed in, we're going to, in my opinion, probably have some really exciting high-scoring matches when we get down to the top 64 bracket double elimination.
And for the folks who maybe didn't watch throughout the course of the USBC Masters, which was also held here at the NDS, you notice that there's no one bowling to the left or to the right of that pair. So with social distancing, with safety procedures and protocols in place, that is another aspect in talking about being comfortable with the fresh. So for this first game, they're only going to move one pair to the right. So obviously no one's bowling on 67, 68. They did get 7.5 minutes of warm up on both that pair and the starting pair that they're on right now prior to the start of competition. So that will be one thing to keep an eye out for as well, is essentially you're going from fresh to fresh to start before you start hitting pairs that other competitors spend some time on.
We also have live scoring working here this week. I want to thank our friends Brunswick, Rick Barbera here. I'm looking around the bowling center, and Aaron, I'm not saying that everybody's lighting them up, but Shannon O'Keefe had the front 7. She still got 279 max score down in 17 and 18. Let's see. Burgett had the front 6. Hines Fair strike through 8. Max score 279 out there on the board. Again, 55 players here. Stephanie Johnson's got herself a 5-bagger going into the 10th frame. But not everybody hitting them as I look here. We actually picked a really good pair to start on here. As a collective unit, I believe this will be the highest scoring pair in the building. So good job, Aaron, picking the pair this morning.
Come on, Mike. You know that was all you.
No. No, you had 2 options, and you clicked on this one.
I like this pair so much from practice. What can I say?
Yeah, me too. And who doesn't love a Hall of Famer? Holy cow. Yeah, there's definitely some back end reaction when you're leaving 7 9s in the pocket. That is really unfortunate. Great.
Folks, once again, a reminder, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, be sure to head over to bowltv.com and pick up your subscription today. We do have an event ticket for $12.95 for the entire week to watch live. That includes the stepladder finals. Or you can pick up a monthly or annual recurring subscription for $9.95 or $79.95. Transaction fees do apply for all those, but with the monthly or the annual, you unlock the entire site so you can watch the archived events. So if you want to laugh at Mike and I as we had no sound for the first game, you're able to do that on Bowl TV when you go back. But more importantly, you can go back, you can watch the stepladder finals, you can watch the on-demand content, the additional, the coaching, the vault with the historical, the backstage channel, all of that available throughout the course of bowltv.com with the monthly recurring or annual. And, just run there by CDB. It's 3 out of the 4 there. She can still get the 203, but after game 1, we are going to go ahead and shut down the sneak peek, if you will, on Facebook and YouTube. So you'll have to head to the boy.com, check out the action.
Yeah, it's a tremendous value, and there's so much more bowling. We've crowned 6 champions this year so far on the PWBA Tour. There's 20 in total. And the last shot from CDB, she was left at target. She knew it. She was 2 boards left at target and paid the ultimate penalty for it. And I talked about this during practice. You know, the ladies that create the most margin of error are going to be the ones that are going to do the best this week. And I mentioned that some of the players that have to go a little bit straighter, where they can get in trouble, is if their feet are too far to the right and their eyes are too far to the left. So you look at somebody like Giselle, the way she's attacking the lanes, and she's created a little bit of misroom for herself. She's inside a target a little bit, it'll hold pocket. She misses a little right, she can mix them up. Also, she can not be 100% perfect with her ball speed. We saw her get a little quick with one, in my opinion, and she shook them up for a light mixer, and that one there was light as well. I think her ball speed's just a little quick with where she's playing on the lanes. You might be seeing a little bit of carry down as well. But a player like Carolyn, because she throws it so straight, she feels, and it's probably the right call, that she needs to be further right and on top of the path. But she also has a little bit of touch. She has more touch with her ball than I think most people give her credit for. And I actually believe that she can open up the lane a little bit. I know it looked like she tried to on that one and she left it 2-4-10. But it's going to be very important for her to get in a comfortable part of the lane, especially as they break down, have the right ball in her hand to create a little bit of that left or right so that she can miss a little bit, have a little more area. Because the further right you are and the farther left your eyes are, the more perfect you have to be with each and every delivery. I'd put Carolyn at about 45% on picking this. So not the start CDB was looking for here. She bowled a much better game, in my opinion, than 182. Giselle got to the right a little bit quicker there, and it finished up nicely. I don't know if she made a ball change there or not on the floor. I couldn't tell. The 244 start by Giselle. Notice she's between her, almost even over on the power side of the ladies tour. And she opens up with 244. Carolyn playing them straighter opens up with 182. And we're seeing a couple light hits where you've left a couple 7-pins here from a couple of the players later in the game. Remember, game number 2 will be on fresh because they will move to a pair that has had no bowling on it. So there's 2 games of fresh every squad. So 40% of your qualifying this week will all be done on fresh.
Excellent stat there, Michael. Taking a quick look around the house, 266 for Shannon O'Keefe. Out of the gates, 255 for Birgit. Carrie Smith's going to be in the 260s. Chance for Shanna Shepelski, excuse me, to get to 258. But it's not necessarily everybody out there. Not everybody's at 220 right now. There's definitely a little bit of variety, but you can put up some numbers here on the fresh. Julia Bond, 252. Lauren Tate, 246. Shannon Sellens, 257.
You know, Shannon Sellens, she's tough out here on tour. When she comes and bowls events, she doesn't bowl them all. She only bowls, I think, the majors this year is what she's going to bowl. But she's very tough. Really solid player. If she was out here full time, I would imagine she'd be top 15 player on tour for sure.
Made the show at the 2019 U.S. Women's Open.
All right, a pair of 240s, a 2-team, and CDB with 182. I'll tell you, Carolyn's going to bowl a better game the next game.
folks, if you want to see that, you know where to go. BullTV.com. So for the individuals who joined us on Facebook and on YouTube, we certainly appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed the sneak peek here at Game 1 for A Squad, Round 1 of qualifying at the USBC Queens. But unfortunately, this feed is going to be going down for a quick second. So we're going to go ahead and throw up the schedule graphic. Just a reminder, so you can see all the times coming up. They're going to get to Game 2 pretty quickly here across the course of the house once everyone finishes up. But we're going to take a quick break. So everybody sit back and enjoy as we prepare to get ready for the rest of the block. So head on over to bulltv.com if you're not there already. For all the folks who are already spending some time on bulltv.com, we appreciate you. Y'all are the best. We're gonna have a giveaway coming up a little bit later today as well, only on bulltv.com. So be sure to check that out, and we'll be ready for game number 2 here at the Queens in just a moment.